All the biggest voices of resistance from Panjshir are on India Today. In another world exclusive, we spoke to Ahmad Massoud, spokesperson on their fight against the Taliban. Ahmad Massoud, who is leading the Northern Alliance based in Panjshir, and her spokesperson Fahim Dashty has said clearly that they will not give in to the Taliban. While confirming that the talks are on with the Taliban, Dashty said that so far, Taliban has not been sincere in its dialogue. He also said that Ahmad Massoud will not be a part of the delegation speaking to Taliban fighters in Kabul, considering it's Taliban-controlled territory. Dashty also said that Northern Alliance has supporters and fighters spread across Afghanistan and warned that if talks with Taliban fail, all their supporters will mobilize and fight for Afghanistan. Massoud's spokesperson also told us that they are currently in touch with other nations as well. Take a look.
Mr. Dashty, welcome on India Today. Sir, what is the latest that you can tell us about negotiations with the Taliban and the situation on ground?
Hi, thanks for having me. Yes, there are some negotiations going on. Previously, in the previous days, messages were going back and forth directly or indirectly. But recently, there was a delegation of Taliban visited Panjshir, and they had some discussion with the leader, Ahmad Massoud, and some other officials. And of course, we cannot go to the details, but one of the results of that negotiation was that Taliban were asking the delegation, some resistance, to go and to talk with their leader and officials, either in Kabul, either in Parwan province. That may happen today.
So does that mean that Ahmad Massoud or the delegation will have to leave Panjshir and go to Kabul? Is that what is being planned, sir?
No, the delegation can go. The leader himself, Ahmad Massoud, will not be in the delegation, but the rest of the delegation, they will go to the Taliban territory and they will negotiate with them there. But something to make clear is that the negotiation is not about Panjshir. The negotiation is about Afghanistan. The negotiation is about the future of Afghanistan, the rights of Afghans, human rights, women's rights, and the other rights, the social justice for Afghans, for all Afghans, to establish a government which will represent all Afghans and which will be trusted by all Afghans and which will serve all Afghans. So these are the negotiation that we are pursuing.
Very interesting. So you are saying the negotiation is not about Taliban not attacking Panjshir, but the negotiation is about the future of Afghanistan. It's about women's rights. It's about participation, plural Afghanistan. But please tell me this, sir. Are the Taliban also surrounding Panjshir? Is there a threat of conflict in or around Panjshir?
So the situation is unpredictable. It can be changed anytime. As far as our goals and standing is concerned, we are giving chance for negotiation through which we will pursue those values that I already mentioned. But if the other side is not willing a detailed negotiation and to think about the future of Afghanistan, and if they choose the military means and the violent ways, we are ready to fight, not for Panjshir, but from Panjshir for the rest of Afghanistan.
So you are saying that the Northern Alliance or the resistance will fight not just for protection of Panjshir, but it will fight for Afghanistan. Am I to understand that there are not just Tajik fighters of Panjshir, but remnants of the Afghan National Army? Have they come to Panjshir? And is this from here? Do you have weapons? Do you have ammunition? Do you have fuel? What are your supplies, sir?
We have two types of forces. Of course, those who are retreated from the Afghan National Security Forces to Panjshir, they are here. And then we have traditional forces, Mujahideen, not only from Panjshir, from other provinces, from Kunduz, from Takhar, from Baghlan, from Badakhshan, from other Parwan, Kopisa, even from Ghazni, from other parts of the country. But something to make clear is that we have the experience of resisting with limited resources. During the 90s, when the late leader Ahmad Massoud was fighting against Taliban, we had very limited resources. We will use that knowledge to manage the resistance now.
Fahim Dashty, what are your expectations of other democracies in the world? Do you require outside assistance, and what kind of assistance does the Northern Alliance require, sir?
We are in contact with different countries of the region and beyond the region. Our first expectation from the rest of the world is to talk with Taliban and to get them on the negotiations table. I have to repeat that we want very detailed negotiations, and we want the result that I already mentioned based on those values. And second, if Taliban are not willing to choose a peaceful way, then our expectation from the world is to pressurize Taliban by any means they can.
I was speaking to Amrullah Saleh just yesterday, and his focus remained that plural Afghanistan has to be maintained. Women's rights is important, and that they will not accept Talibanistan. But the Taliban is establishing an Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. So what will the negotiations be about, given the fact, Fahim Dashty, that the two views are so divergent?
So far, as far as the officials of Taliban are announcing, they are talking about participatory and inclusive government. They didn't announce the emirate yet. So that gave us a kind of hope that we may get some results through negotiation. But of course, as it was announced by different countries of the region, as well as beyond the region, and within the Afghanistan, the emirate of Taliban, which was in power during 90s, that's not acceptable, and this is why we are entering the negotiation to talk about a different kind of the system, which will ensure the rights of Afghan, which will ensure the future of Afghanistan, ensure the participatory government, representative government, for all Afghans to be trusted and to have a good relation with the different parts of the world.
Before, I let you go, is there a deadline for negotiations or for establishment of a plural government, or is there fear that, conflict may break out? And do you require weapons and ammunition? Do you have a supply of weapons and ammunition?
The standing here is to give chance for negotiation as long as it goes on. We will not break the war from our side, from resistance. But if war is break, of course we are ready to fight, and of course we are counting on the rest of the world to support us by any means.
Fahim Dashty, many thanks for speaking to us here at India Today.
Amrullah Saleh is the man rallying the resistance against Taliban in Panjshir. Afghanistan's caretaker President Amrullah Saleh has spoken for the first time since the Taliban takeover to India today. He says that he won't let his country become Talibanistan. Take a listen into an exclusive conversation with the caretaker President of Afghanistan, Amrullah Saleh.
Mr. Saleh, what can you tell us? What's the latest in Panjshir? How are you holding up, sir?
The Taliban claim that they have got part of Panjshir is completely false. We are in control. The morale of the people is very high. We have been able to build consensus amongst the community who have unanimously stood up, saying they are not ready to sell the soul of the resistance and bow to the Taliban. We have organized, we have managed, and we are ready both for meaningful negotiation For the resistance, if the negotiation fails, negotiation should not be a code word for a disguised surrender or disguised allegiance. We have told the Taliban what our conditions are. So far, we have made no progress in that. And if the Taliban opts to fight, we advise them to read the history, and we are prepared for any eventuality.
Mr. Saleh, you have been a part of the resistance even earlier. You look up to Ahmad Massoud, the legendary Tajik commander. How is the situation different from the first time that you were resisting the Taliban and now?
His son, Ahmad Massoud, is currently in the headquarters of his father, and people are rallying around him. I am also here. We have a very united command structure. What is key in situations like this is the motivation. It's the determination of the people. And secondly, it is the organization, command and control structure. And the last is resources. The first two elements are critical, and we have it already. We are not fragmented, we are not disunited, we have a historical unity, and we all carry the legacy of our leader, and we have told the Taliban, the choice will be yours, and if you opt to fight, we will see you. If you opt to negotiate, we do not want the negotiation to be, as I said, a disguise for soft surrender or expression of allegiance or acceptance of the Taliban clerical dictatorship. Absolutely no.